Hello guys, welcome to the channel Vocab Up. Here we'll make you improve your vocab. Basically every day there'll be 10 words which will help you to develop your vocabulary. This will be mainly useful for the people who are going for some competitive examinations like GRE, GMAT, CAT, where it requires a lot of vocabulary and lot of words need to be known. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So, the first word for the today is glistering. It's an adjective. Adjective is something which describes a noun. We know that, right? So, basically, what does it mean? Just imagine the word glistering. Glistering, glitter, related to glitter. It means something sparkling, something shining with sparkling light or a reflecting light. That is its meaning. So what is its verb? It's glisten. Basically they'll say you're glistening like a star. That is adjective. Okay. So what are the synonyms for this word? Because just keeping in remember this word, it won't help. You have to actually compare and read, which will help you more. So what are the synonyms? Synonyms are glossy. So think of a glossy lip gloss. Oh my god, lip glossy. It itself has that it makes your lips shiny. So shiny, so that is something under the synonym. Then sheeny, few people say. So what is the mnemonic? Mnemonic will be glitter. Obviously, I told in the start. Next, I will encounter a sentence related to it. He turned a corner and looked at the trust tower, a glistering phallic monument jutting 1,000 feet upwards into the clouds and fog. If you haven't seen Trust Tower, it's actually very glistering building because in the outer layer of it, it has many glasses, so it's actually reflects light, so it feels like it's shining. That's why it's glistering phallic monument. What is phallic? Phallic is something erect. What is jutling? Jutling is extend out beyond the main body. It extends out to the clouds, to and the fog. That is what they are explaining. So this was all about the first word, glistering. Let's go to the next one, plodded. So this is actually a verb. So it actually means someone who moves slowly in a laborious, heavy-footed manner. Someone, I don't want to go to the class today, so I'll go in a way plodding. When I have no interest to do something, I do it in a plodding manner. Or else, if you want to do some dull task very preservatively, then that is also a time which we call it as plodding. So an example, synonyms for it is trudge, slog, or drag yourself to do something. So that is synonyms. So we'll go to an example sentence. I plodded through the 6 volumes of a book till I found the criteria that I needed. So that would be very hectic. Going through 6 volumes of book is very hectic, first of all. Okay, but somehow I went through the 6 volumes and found what I needed. This is something also called as plodded. So let's head towards next word, which is atrium. It's a noun. So basically, atrium is the large central space in the building which is open and airy. Usually, if you have visited any malls, it will be like in the center space of the mall that will be very open and airy, that is left out, and towards the 4 sides of it will be many shops or any other shopping centers. So the middle part, which is open and airy, is actually called as the atrium. So it's a chamber linked to other chambers of pathways. So from the center of the mall, you can go to any other shopping uh, where you want to shop and all. It also has escalators to go to the top floor. So it's actually a chamber linked to the other chambers. So that's why it's called as atrium. What is synonym? Obviously, it's a chamber. So basically, wait. You might have heard this atrium in biology. Actually, that is in the heart. In the heart, if it's say right atrium, it's actually takes deoxygenated blood, and in the left atrium takes oxygenated blood. So we'll take an example sentence on this. The atrium of the trust tower was tall and open, with plenty of marble and grass, and incomprehensive sculptures designed to inspire and provide warmth. So basically, they're telling, so they're describing the atrium in this sentence of the trust tower. Incomprehensive. What does incomprehensive in the sentence means it's including only parts. So we're learning something we have to learn completely. Okay, I hope you have visualized the word atrium in your mind. Let's jump into the fourth word, loathe. A loathe is a strong feeling of disgust. Sometimes I don't like carrot because I loathe it. Loathe means I can't even bear the sight of carrot. That's why I loathe it. If I would have hated it, I would be okay carrot being on my plate. But I loathe carrot. That's why I hate it even to see it on my plate. So what are the synonyms? Abhor and detest are its synonyms. Many of you might have seen House of Cards, in which Francis Underwood have stated that I have always loathed the necessity of sleep. Like that, it puts even the most powerful men on their backs. So let's see adjective of this loath. It's loathsome. Loathsome is unwilling or reluctant. So be careful. Loathsome and loath, sometimes you might mix it up. So loath is something, a strong feeling of disgust, while loathsome is you are very reluctant or unwilling to do that particular task. That's why it's loathsome, not because that gives you a feeling of disgust. Okay, so don't mix up among these words. Okay, I think House of Cards will make you remember this word. So let us go to the next, which is antitrust. Antitrust. So you might have heard about few antitrust laws and all. Not many, but few of you might have heard about it. So it's a kind of law that protects fairness and competition in the businesses. So basically, whose fathers or mothers or relatives or friends who are lawyers, they might have at least a little bit knowledge about this antitrust laws. So it's basically when two companies are there which are doing the same tasks, providing the same task to the public, then this antitrust laws come into the picture. So what's a synonym for this? Anti-monopoly. Okay, somewhat similar. I can remember. Okay, here you might have observed a word. I mean a root word, that is anti. Anti. I am opposed to it. Then you say it's anti. So for example of words related to the root word anti are antithesis, exact opposite of someone. If I find someone exact opposite of me in emotions and everything, then he is antithesis of me. Anti-woman, a person who hates women, antisocial, anti-dandruff shampoos you might have known. So this is very easy to remember antitrust. Let's see an example sentence. In United States, the antitrust laws is collection of federal and state government laws. Okay, people might know this. So an antitrust attorney specifies in business laws and rules and regulations that keep competition between businesses fair and equal. Yeah. Uh, so I have told this. So I think antitrust will make you remember this word, because fights usually make us remember few things. Let's jump into the next root. So pallbearers. This word is very easy to remember. Just look at the picture and you will remember this word forever. So the meaning of this word is a person who is helping to carry or officially escort a coffin to a funeral. So pallbearers dancing. You might have seen there are many memes on them. So we'll go to the example sentence. David found dozens of lonely figures in dark overcoats, other young uh, lawyers rising quiet and somber, much like pallbearers at the winter funeral. So David compared the young lawyers with pallbearers. Wow. And what does somber mean here? Somber is dark or dull in color or tone. That's why I think David compared the younger lawyers with pallbearers. Okay, I think this is very easy to remember throughout your life, I guess. Let's jump into the next word. Hyperventilate. Hyper. What do you say? When you say someone hyper, you might have come across this word. So when you say someone hyper, there's something over. Ventilate. Ventilate. You might have heard this word as well, which is something related to air or breath. So let's get into the meaning. So breath or cause to breathe at an abnormal rapid rate or become more anxious. So it's very general that when you're very anxious, you are out of breath, or you have ran a marathon, then you're obviously out of breath. Then that is something related to hyperventilate. So as they began to race from one floor to the other in an escalator, David began to sweat, then to hyperventilate, sorry. So I think David was has a fear of escalator. So when they began to race from one floor to another, first he was sweating, but then he became hyperventilate. So hyper, as I said, is a root word which means over. Let's see few examples of hyper. Hyperfit. Somebody is so overly fit. Tag that friend who is overly fit in the comment section. Okay. Okay, next, hyper simple. A person who is so simple. You can tag him as well. Him or her. You can tag him or her as well. Hypertension. Hypertension leads to blood pressure. So you might have known this. And there are many other more words related to hyper root word. I think now this is something you can remember, hyperventilate. So few words you can divide and learn, but not all words you can divide and learn. Few words will give a correct meaning, but not all. So be careful when it comes there. Next, lurch. What is the meaning of lurch? Lurch is to suddenly move, usually forward, more abruptly, walk in an uncontrolled manner. Okay, it has three meanings and I read it continuously. So it's actually lurch, move forward, uh, usually sudden move. So when you are in a bus, a bus, then if the bus suddenly stops, you lurch forward. That is, you move forward. That is not something not into your control. Because of the sudden stop of the bus, you lurch forward, or you move abruptly, or walk in an uncontrollable manner. This is something lurch. Okay, for some businessmen to explain what is lurch, the stock market's lurch. That is, there are ups and downs or move forward, uh, which they cannot control. So I think they can understand this. So what does a noun means? A decisive defeat in a game is called as lurch. Okay, there's also an okay, we'll see this. To be left in a lurch means to be abandoned. This is also a sentence which we use generally, like we'll say somebody left him in a lurch, means somebody abandoned him. Somebody abandoned this cute little puppy. In other words, you can say someone left him to be lurched. Left him in the sense someone left the puppy to be lurched. Something like that. So what are the synonyms? Reel, stagger. Reel and stagger. I think you can remember this. You can remember this by the bus incident. In the bus, when we travel, and the bus suddenly stops, we lurch forward. So you can remember this. Next word is leaden. Leaden. It's an adjective. Okay, meanings dull, heavy or slow. Heavy or slow. You can remember something heavy or slow. At the start, we saw the word plodding, right? So this is something related to plodding. Very heavy, walking with the very heavy steps to the class. That is plodding, right? So it's dull, doing some very dull task. That is plodding. So actually, the synonym of leaden is dull, heavy, or plodding. So my eyelids were leadened with sleep. I couldn't even open it, and the class is going on. I hope that my lecturer doesn't catch it. Okay, so of the color of lead or gray, sometimes. So after David took the right decision, his leaden feet came to life to walk towards what is correct. So I think David was going through something very bad. He was doing something which wasn't meant for him with his leaden feet, which is dull or heavy or slow. I know. So you might be thinking I don't like going to the class, and that's true. That's why I go with leaden feet. So his leaden feet came to the life, and he got the courage to do something what he really wanted and not what doesn't give him pleasure anymore. So his leaden feet came to life, and he walked towards what was correct. I think that's great. Everybody in life should follow what their way goes, not something led by somebody else. Okay, we'll go to the next word, tyrant. Many might be knowing this word, but still, let's go into it. A tyrant is someone who dictates or oppressor. You might be seeing the pic uh, about Hitler, and you might got an idea about this word, about what tyrant means. Tyrant is something very cruel, or it's overly restricting your freedom in an unfair way. So, you know the examples: Hitler, Stalin, Saddam Hussein. All these are examples for the persons who are tyrant. So you can remember this word by remembering persons, different people. So that was the last word, the 10th word. I hope you remember all by relating it to some real life examples like the tyrant relating to Hitler. And if you really like this video, please do like it, subscribe it, and also share with your loving ones and share with the people who are going to write competitive examinations. It might help to them. And also, if you have some suggestions, please drop in the comment box. Thank you and have a great day ahead.